From the sky, this river shows off its immense power. As the offspring of the god named Brahma, the river is a capricious giant, holding the power of life and death over the millions of people along its course. In India and Bangladesh, the floods of the Brahmaputra River are as destructive as they are necessary for fertilizing the soil. The river god originates in the Himalayas, where rapids and rocks prevent any navigation. Travelers have no choice but to take the parallel roads. In India, in the foothills of the Himalayas, Raj Kumar is one of the few taxis that dare to challenge the mountains. This route is far from comforting.
क्या करके बेटा हटा ना सीधा कर दो गाड़ी हम जाएगा क्या करता है लोग
लंबा लॉन्ग ड्राइव करने आता है कोई तो डर तो सबका मन में होता है ना हम हो आपको चाहे किसी को भी तो डर लगेगा वो रास्ता.
As well as the precipitous cliff edges, there is danger that comes from above. The mountain walls have been weakened by the monsoon and are unstable. This section is perhaps the most dangerous part of the route. Above the road, a kilometre-high section of the mountain is bare, without a single root to hold the stones in place. Raj Kumar tries to pass this section as quickly as possible. A truck arrives from the opposite direction, but the road is only one lane wide. Now everyone is caught under a rain of falling rocks. The driver tries to take cover. Like this panicked traveller who abandoned their car.
ट्रक है ना इसका इस तरफ यहीं तो मारुति कार लग गया था ट्रक भाग थैले रोकर बसे है ना तो वाली के था कुना में खत्म पूरा चटाई बना दिया गाड़ी को हवा नहीं चलने से भी गिरता है पर बड़ा वाला नहीं गिरता अभी हवा से छोटा वाला छोड़ा देना तो बड़ा बड़ा आ जाएगा.
Raj Kumar and his passengers end the journey under a meteor shower. To follow the river god and navigate along its waters is an act that requires a great deal of courage. The Brahmaputra stretches 2,900 kilometers across China, India and Bangladesh. 100 million people depend on its waters. In India, the river meanders through lost valleys, and the roads that venture into these valleys are formidable. Provisioning the villages is just as perilous. Along the Brahmaputra River, the nerves of these Indian drivers are truly put to the test. In Bangladesh, the river is often the only means of transporting people and animals. Taking a ferry is just as nerve-wracking. As the source of life, the Brahmaputra and its tributaries are exploited shamelessly. In India, as in Bangladesh, the overpopulation is so great that a man costs much less than a machine. From India to Bangladesh, the Brahmaputra is far from being a long, tranquil river. On the outer reaches of India, the profession of truck driver takes on an entirely new dimension. There is the taste of adventure, the feeling of blazing a new trail each time they pass through here. So hostile is the road. Arjun asked the god of travellers to offer him, for once, a smooth journey.
जब भी सुबह उठता है नहा मुख शुद्ध धुला के हाथ पाँव फ्रेश होकर श्री गणेश को पूजा करते हैं हम लोग और गणेश भगवान को हम लोग मानते हैं श्री शंकर विश्वकर्मा भगवान को.
Ganesh is not his only protection. In case of an accident, Arjun can rely on his two friends, Deepak and Shanu. The three truckers never drive alone on the route to Tu Ting near the Chinese border, the 350 kilometers of mountains at the source of the Brahmaputra, at the foot of the Himalayas, in the closest proximity to danger. Especially when driving in their old trucks. The conveyors are transporting construction material. The most dangerous load is in Shanu's truck. 50 barrels of asphalt, 75 kilos each, are wobbling in the back of the truck. When they rock too much, the driver stops so that they can stabilize. Otherwise, there could be an accident.
आपको विटामिन में आपको ज़्यादा गाड़ी झोल मारेगा और ऐसा दूसरा माल में आपको इतना झोल कम मारेगा. अभी विटामिन में आपका क्या होगा, थोड़ा घटा होने से भी गाड़ी एकदम ऐसे मारेगा, झोल मारेगा.
One of the parts of the route that Shanu and his travel partners dread the most is crossing the old suspended bridge.
कहीं टूट ना जाए, गाड़ी चक्का ना घुस जाए बोल के डर लग जाता है क्योंकि कार सब फट गया तो.
सबको आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, साइड देखना पड़ेगा, इधर आगे देखना पड़ेगा, ज़्यादा आपको स्पीड से भी जा नहीं सकेगा. तो आपको एक नंबर में धीरे-धीरे जाना पड़ेगा।
They mustn't let the barrels of asphalt rock the truck, which would cause the old bridge to sway. The structure might not be able to withstand too much movement.
ये देखिए अभी कैसे चलना पड़ रहा है और ध्यान में चलना पड़ेगा।
This time it held fast, but for how much longer remains to be seen. In some places the route is paved. Despite the loose stones, it's a godsend for the conveyors so they can drive faster. The three men are only paid when the goods are delivered, regardless of how many days they spend on the road. It's just that smooth journeys here are extremely rare.
एक्सीलरेटर झाड़ के देखो स्टार्ट करके
A belt is about to give out. It's falling apart with age, worn down with each acceleration.
यहाँ टूटिंग का सफ़र में खुद ड्राइविंग भी करना पड़ता है और खुद मैकेनिक भी करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि जगह का हिसाब से ऐसे है कि मतलब यहाँ कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं है और कुछ जानकारी है तभी हम लोग कर लिया, नहीं तो और 2-3-4 दिन और भी बैठना पड़ना था।
Even if they've just lost an hour, the drivers have done well. Tomorrow, a different story awaits. The last 160 kilometers, which require at least 2 days of travel when everything goes smoothly. In the mountains, the Brahmaputra River cannot be taken by boat, but as soon as it reaches the plains, it becomes navigable for nearly 1,300 kilometers. This is a kind of river highway used every year by thousands of Bangladeshi herders. All of them prefer travel by boat, as it's faster and safer than by truck. Well, almost. In a few days, it will be the feast of Eid al-Kabir. For this celebration, Muslim families buy a cow to sacrifice. They head off to the markets.
इधर जो नहीं এত ভিড় এত আমদানি তারপরে খ্যাপ থাকে না কম।
On his floating cattle carrier, Manik loads about 30 cows weighing 500 kilos.
ব্যালেন্স করি নৌকার হাইট দেখে নদীর ভিতর যাই, বেকাদা হলে কুলি চলে যায়।
Manik heads for Aricha market, about 30 kilometers downstream from the Brahmaputra River. He'll therefore be sailing with the current. However, this part of the river remains unpredictable. The sandbanks constantly move around, creating traps where Manik does not expect them. The other danger comes from the cows. They can't stand the swaying of the boat. Becoming a breeder was his life's dream. Gulga saved for 25 years before he could afford 2 cows. A few years later, they had calves, and he's proud to have raised his family out of poverty. An hour later, the Aricha market is in sight. Here, thousands of animals will change hands in just a few hours. Gulga has 7 cows for sale, but that day he nearly didn't make a dime. The animals are restless and becoming out of control. And above all, it requires patience. The buyers have all the power. They have ample choice, so prices are not on the rise. And the buyers are playing hardball. This man's cow broke its leg when it got off the boat. 3 traders are trying to negotiate the price down. €350 for a cow worth 700. The man has lost the equivalent of 5 months of salary. In Bangladesh, a farmer earns only €3 a day on average. At the end of the day, Gulga is also somewhat disillusioned, his dreams vanishing. Tomorrow, the farmer will take his cows to a new market, hoping to have better luck. On the Indian side of the Brahmaputra River, Arjun, Deepak and Shanu are attacking their second day on the road in the mountains. They still have 160 kilometers to go to reach the town of Tuting. The 3 friends begin the riskiest part of the journey.
हम लोग 1 month तक ये रास्ता में रुक के खाना बना के खाना पड़ा जंगल का पत्ता सब तोड़ के खाया, चावल राशन पानी नहीं मिलता है रसम में, फिशिंग करता है, ऐसे करके हम लोग टाइम पास करना पड़ा। क्योंकि 10 ईयर से चल रहा है अभी तक, बस अरुणाचल में पैदा होकर बड़ा हुआ है, क्योंकि हर कब क्या खाना है सब मालूम है हम लोग को, फूड को कब किस समय में क्या को इस्तेमाल करना है सब हमको जानता है, हमको आइडिया है मैंने।
The trucks don't go faster than 15 kilometers an hour, and they're better off that way. A week ago, the road here collapsed. This section has only just reopened. Arjun is the first to pass, and a mistake of just a few centimeters would send him over the edge of the cliff.
रास्ता छोटा है और मिट्टी फटा हुआ है, उसके लिए बहुत रिस्क है ये जगह।
Shanu, who has the heaviest truck, is not very confident, but Deepak even less so.
उधर के फाटा हुआ है, उधर के रुकते हैं, आओ हल्का बाहर रखो, जल्दी आओ जल्दी आओ, वेरी रिस्की रोड, कंपास।
After all the stress on the road, the drivers take a break to release their tension and especially to cool down, as it's 35 degrees. The heat is stifling.
अभी गाड़ी में लेके आया था, ये पूरा गर्म हो गया है, इसे पानी पिला रहा हूँ अभी मैं। अभी 12 बजे के साथ में इसी को खाना है।
Each kilometre gained is a small victory, even if the road that remains is still long and full of dangers. In the Brahmaputra Valley, not everyone depends on the road, even if some villages are located in extremely isolated places. This suspended footbridge is the only connection between the Addis tribe and civilization. The members of the tribe take the bridge when they go to barter along the road. The Addis are almost completely self-sufficient. The only products they buy from time to time are sugar, tea, salt, and some clothes. The Addis and the little money they do have at the top of this mountain, more than an hour's walk away. Cayenne and Sum climb up the mountain every day to collect a small seed that is worth its weight in gold. And they earn every penny as this forest is filled with some not-so-friendly bugs.
Apa rum ya? Cepat dulu na. Ijem dapat lang na. Ami lahat pa lang na cepat tu. Ako na. Kaya belum awal lagi. Kilo betul lah. Mana dapat ada berapa?
This treasure is worth braving a few leeches. Cardamom is a much sought-after spice. Its seeds may flavour many dishes, but harvesting it is no easy task.
Hello, kai đủ lại itu mà vườn. Costa lo dong.
Mana hupak kepi melo.
Pupa ke pi ipan lah. Nunyi nge teo holo anyong ke e ku. Pupa ka monga la holo pars pila e dong. Teo likum lo pulpo e ku.
The sloping terrain makes the work even harder, but the village did not hesitate to cut down its orange trees in order to plant cardamom. After saffron and vanilla, it's the third most expensive spice on the planet.
Engkau dong, nguluk unturang takeng imanam dong, unturang kg lo, जैसे कि उनतान केजी तो बेसी इनको को 40-50 कमारी LIC केजी से हमारे इनको लो 400 कमती आलूम 300-400 ला दूँ.
Each family earns about €300 a year. While it's not much, it's more than enough to live in the Brahmaputra Valley.
Dekat ikan makai dong nguluk santi dong. Hima nguluk select nam de mane ole siang asi ai. Dah kasih kadang ke plus jam nasi kadung. Olong mane tani itu tilu dulu mulo engo ai ati hubida nam laga apa. Select tu pengong muna mana. Okom te cekam ken bang.
However, their paradise could soon disappear. The village is situated at a point on this river which is attracting interest.
Dah nguluk ingko me dem si me nguluk angnam si berde yam nasi ai. Di siang asi. Belo pensa me bo yiba kan ko belo dem de me bohai lagi. Dem belo bohai milo mane dia belo dia ko saya hai dem langon milo. Mane nguluk asari si gedung. Plus man nguluk dolu si kom gedung. Ia mumul mo gumilo nguluk mane tandi nguluk tu apin doma nguluk tu lamang.
Despite their opposition to the project, the Addis tribe are unlikely to win their cause. 150 dams are planned in the region. India needs the electricity to sustain its growth. Today, its population has reached 1.3 billion people. In a few years, the country will overtake China in terms of population. Soon, there will be nothing left of these landscapes. For 16 hours now, the three truckers have been driving almost non-stop. At 11 p.m, the engines are silent. The drivers' struggles, their fatigue and their tired bodies, battered by the jolts in the road, never seem to affect their morale. None of these three would trade their job for another. their friendship has only grown on the road. They take pleasure in camping together.
आपको ये वेदर में बैठ के खाना बना के खाने में बहुत अच्छा है, आनंद लगता है, खाना भी आप खा सकते हैं ज़्यादा।
हम लोग खाता है, राजा नरेंद्र मोदी भी ऐसे नहीं खाता है, हम लोग सोता लेकिन कुत्ता का ऐसा है।
It's lights out at midnight. They make their beds using the canvas on the top of their trucks. On the morning of the third day, the drivers have only travelled 270 kilometres. They still have almost 80 kilometres to go before reaching their final destination, the city of Tuting on the Chinese border.
तकलीफ होता है बहुत, गाड़ी में बहुत तकलीफ होती है। छुट्टी वाले से पेरेंट्स को खुद में मिलता है, थोड़ा बहुत बचता है टूटिंग में, तो ये रिक्स में आना पड़ता है, लेकिन तो एक वीक में आपको खर्चा है 30,000।
और हमको अच्छा लगता है, आसाम में बहुत झमेला भी लगता है, मतलब गाड़ी चलाने का हाईवे में बोरिंग लगता है, अरुणाचल में बढ़िया लगता है क्योंकि हर टर्निंग में सावधान रहना पड़ता है, ड्राइव करके भी अच्छा लगता है।
Arjun spoke too soon. While this slope looks like nothing, it's not going to let them pass so easily. Just about 2 metres of road covered in an hour, and still more to go.
इसको रास्ता को भी ग्रिप वाला नहीं बना रहा है, इसको बना देने से हम लोग के लिए सुविधा हो जाता है, इसके लिए हम लोग को दिक्कत मिलता है। अब तो 1 आवर्स हो गया, अभी हम लोग कष्ट किया था, अभी हमको भी डर लग रहा है कि गाड़ी उठेगा नहीं उठेगा, मेरा गाड़ी का
India and Bangladesh are countries of contrasts. On the one hand, they have become giants in the computer and textile industries, but on the other hand, the industrial methods they use are sometimes obsolete. Their economic growth is strong while poverty persists. To survive, many Indians and Bangladeshis still practice professions from another age. In Bangladesh, the bed of the Dolai River is massacred by dredgers, and yet the land contains no precious minerals. These men are pebble fishers. Huge pumps suck up water from the bottom of the river and bring up the pebbles, which will then be crushed into gravel for the construction industry. This profession is especially profitable after monsoons. The raging waves carry thousands of tons of stones from the mountains. shores are also torn apart. The rocks on the banks are smashed to pieces, and when the pebbles are lifted, they get crushed. In a few years, the banks of the river will have disappeared, sacrificed on the altar of the god of growth. The tons of rock that have been reduced to gravel are heading for Dhaka. The capital of Bangladesh is booming, 17 million people, and its population is still growing. Like the Dholai River, the river that runs through the capital is also under a lot of stress. Its waters are among the most polluted in the world. The Bangladeshis dump everything into it, without limits. One of the biggest polluters and providers of jobs are the Karaniganj shipyards. Here, men replace machines as they cost much less. They don't need maintenance, and when they get sick, there's always one to take their place. They dismantle, repair and refurbish any ship with crude methods. The noise is deafening. To protect their eardrums, they use a simple ball of cloth as an earplug.
শব্দটা হালকা হালকা বাজে ওঠে ওইটা ডাকলে শুনবে না যে ভাই এদিকে আসেন মানে শুনতে আসে না কানে একটু সমস্যা হতো এই কারণে আবার আমরা তো অন্য জায়গায় একটা বাড়ি শুনি ওইটা আমাকে বিরক্ত লেগে যায় যে কামে এলাম না আজকে রগে ঘুরতে এলাম বাড়ি শুনলেই মানে বিরক্ত লেগে যায় আবার কামে এলে শব্দটা বেশি যায় না এই কারণে সমস্যা হয়।
Every year, the 15,000 workers build and refurbish nearly 600 boats, but paradoxically, even if they pollute heavily, the shipyard still has an environmentally friendly system. The Bangladeshi genius is to make recycling an economy in its own right. 30% of the country's metal needs come from the recycling of old ships. The yard manager is proud to show us the achievements made with the few means he has at his disposal.
It is an old one ship, but running. The ship owner wanted to enlarge the capacity. Here we cut off at the middle, and we pulled the front end much different distance, and the new construction is done in the middle one. In the middle is a totally new version, totally new. It was joined over here. It was joined. So now it's a big ship.
Some boats are so large that their bows are just a few meters from apartment buildings. On the construction site, the work pace is constant. The ships have to stay in the hold for as little time as possible, so there's no question of losing time worrying about safety conditions.
সাবধানতা কি সাবধানতা নাই এনে সব রিস্কের কামই সব দেখতে আছে চোখের সামনে সব রিস্ক সাবধানতার কোনো ই নাই এনে মাত্র মানে পিস করে দেয় ওই দোকানটা লাগে কেটে দেব ওখানে হ্যাঁ ওয়ার্লিং আছে হরিজন্টাল ওয়ার্লিং
Alam is a foreman. He pushes the workers to work as quickly as possible.
আর এই স্লিপারের উপরে জাহাজ বড় করা মানে আপনার ভাড়ার চার্জ বেশি তো এর জন্য যত দূরত্ব করা যায় হ্যাঁ যত দূরত্ব ওইভাবে করতে পারে না ভালো ফিল করে না আর ওইটা পইরা যতটুকু কাজ করার দরকার বাইরে যেমন কাজটা 100% হয় ঠিক আছে আর আমাকে ওই জায়গায় মনে করেন যেই কাজগুলি করব ওই বাইরে ওই কাজগুলি আমাকে এক সপ্তাহ যেই কাজ হবো ওটা 3 মাস হবে না ওই যে কাজগুলি
It is impossible to know how many workers are injured or die each year on the construction site, but their wages do not at all tally up with the risks they take. The most experienced workers earn €10 a day. Ruben earns €5, just enough to feed his wife and daughter.
এটা আমাদের বাসা এটা কিচেন এটা ওয়াশরুম
All three share this 9 square metre room. Ruben hopes to move up quickly to make his dream come true.
টাকা পয়সা থাকলে বা একটা দোকানপাট লইয়ে ব্যবসা বাণিজ্য করার এগুলো যদি হইতো তাহলে আর এতে তো হবে না ডগে কাজ করে সব টাকা পয়সা রাখা যায় না কিছু
কি করবো আমার ইচ্ছাকে যেটা ভালো হইব ওইটাই এত যাইতে চান মা তো দিব না এটাই সমস্যা
Most Bangladeshis are working in exhausting jobs. Indians too. Life is no easier on the road. Arjun, Deepak and Shanu know something about it. For 3 hours now, the drivers have been trying to get over this small hill, but Arjun's old engine is not strong enough. Every metre he advances is earned with sweat and tears. He finally makes it over. Now everyone is praying that the other 2 trucks get over the hurdle without any trouble. The men are at the end of their rope. They've been trying to reach the town of Tuting on the Chinese border for 3 days now. Despite everything, Arjun takes every obstacle with a dose of philosophy.
और हम लोग का जर्नी भी बहुत लॉन्ग हो जाता है और हम लोग भी बहुत मिस भी होता है लेकिन वहाँ का पब्लिक हम लोग का सहारा में सब कुछ मिल रहा है हम लोग एक ड्राइवर है ट्रक ड्राइवर है
In the Brahmaputra Valley, travelling, delivering or simply returning to your family is a kind of bravery. In Bangladesh, getting around also requires a little patience and courage, especially on those ferries. All these ships fight a naval battle in the true sense of the word, the captains don't hesitate to ram other boats to be the first to disembark and reload the travellers as quickly as possible. From Dhaka, the ferry is sometimes the only way to reach the most inaccessible parts of the country. Departing in a hurry, the ships don't leave the docks smoothly. All these passengers are returning to their families to celebrate Eid al-Kibir. Arrivals and departures are a constant source of stress. Even for old sea dogs like Captain Yunus. Straight ahead and come what may, Captain Yunus wants to be the first on the platform. Good luck to any ferry that gets in his way.
এমনভাবে হয় যে কেউ কোনো ক্ষয়ক্ষতি না হয়, এইটা অ্যালার্ট থাকতে হয়। অ্যালার্ট থাকে ওর লাগে পানি লাগলে একটু সাধারণ রং হতে পারে, ভাঙবে না।
So far, there has never been a serious accident in the port, but offshore, it's a different story. Collisions happen at full speed. In 10 years, the Battle of the Ferries has killed nearly 1,700 people. Some clever men take advantage of the confusion to board the ship clandestinely.
ডিউটি করতেই হয়তো সুষ্ঠুভাবে যদি আমি গন্তব্যের স্থানে যাইতে পারি, তাই যাত্রীরও ভালো লাগে, আমারও নিজেরও ভালো লাগে, মালিকেরও ভালো লাগে।
Arjun, Deepak and Shanu's boss is not unhappy either. The three drivers arrive in Tuting in record time. It took them only 3 days to cover 350 kilometres. They can't believe it themselves.
लड़ाई लेकिन अभी खत्म हो गया, जस्ट पहुंच गया तो अभी खत्म हो गया।
In a few years, the route leading to Tuting will be a beautiful paved road. India is developing at high speed. With more than 1.3 billion people, their need for drinking water and energy is increasingly urgent. But that's not the only reason. Climate change is changing everything, and the battle over water with their neighbour China has just begun, with each country building hundreds of dams on the Brahmaputra River and its tributaries. In the end, Bangladesh will be the bigger loser and may soon see their majestic river dry up.